Part 2 of WPSD Local 6 Legal Line. Attorneys from the Bryant Law Center in Paducah, Austin Kennedy, Kevin Shannon, answering your questions regarding personal injury. Give us a call at 1-888-208-6946 if we can answer one of your questions. And we do have one already. And Marcy says, if the person that caused my wreck doesn't have enough insurance to pay me, what can I do about that?
Well, the first thing that you should do probably is look to your own policy to see if you have purchased what's called underinsured motorist coverage. Underinsured motorist coverage is not required, but a lot of people do buy it. I would encourage everybody out there watching, if you haven't looked at your declarations page, get it out and look at it, or at least talk with your insurance agent about it. And if you don't have underinsured motorist coverage, you should get it. Because a lot of people will have only the minimum amount of insurance required by law, and if that's all they have, and say you have a broken leg, they don't have enough insurance to compensate you. You could try to file a lawsuit against them, make a claim against them, but if they don't have money, the old saying goes, you can't get blood out of a turnip, so you really need something a little more practical, like underinsured motorist coverage. So if the person that caused the wreck doesn't have enough insurance to fully compensate you for your claim, Marcy, I'd suggest you check your own policy for underinsured motorist coverage.
Philip wants to know, how much is pain and suffering worth in a work comp case?
Well, in Kentucky, there is no such thing as pain and suffering in workers' compensation. What you have is a statute in place by the legislator that outlines what benefits you can receive depending on the nature of your injury. If you have what's called a permanent injury, according to the American Medical Association guidelines, then you'd be entitled to what's called permanent partial disability or permanent total disability. And what that is in a lot of ways, think of it like, kind of like future lost wages. There's no real way to calculate that, but the legislators laid out a formula based on your average weekly wage and impairment rating according to the AMA guidelines, along with a multiplier, and what you would get is that amount of money per week for 425 weeks, or a little over 8 years. But there is no pain and suffering like there is in personal injury, whether that be product liability, car wreck, medical malpractice. It's another reason why I think it is important to contact a work comp attorney if you have a claim.
We have just a few seconds left, and this question is very similar, Austin, and that is they want to know, do they actually need a lawyer in a work comp case?
Well, again, it depends on the case. I'd say it never hurts to contact a work comp attorney. Again, it works on a contingency fee, just like personal injury does, except the contingency fee is identified by the legislator. But just scheduling a meeting, contacting a work comp attorney, seeing what kind of rights and benefits you could receive is definitely very important and will allow you to make the best decision for you and your family.
So basically, it all starts with the consultation with a competent attorney, such as the folks we have to my left. Austin Kennedy, Kevin Shannon from the Bryant Law Center, our guest today on this edition of Local 6 Legal Line.